Okay, so let's have a look now at Dialog 1 together. So I'll play it bits. I'll play it sort of line by line, and then we'll jump back to the other screen. You won't be able to see this quite so clearly, so I'll jump back to the other screen so you can see the characters and everything clearly.
老人家，这只小狗真可爱。
So let's get back to my other page. There we go. So 老人家这只小狗真可爱. So there's that polite expression again. So this is one of the characters in our textbook, Jiangshan, who's a young guy and he's talking to the father of a friend of his who's an older guy. So he's referring to him very politely as 老人家这只小狗真可爱. So I don't know if you still remember that from last semester, but 可爱 meaning cute and 真 meaning really. 这只小狗, and there's the measure word for a dog. Oops. Okay. Let's jump across here. Let's listen to the next bit. Let's hear what the older gentleman says.
是啊，我以前养过花儿，养过鸟，但是不喜欢养狗。来这儿以后，这儿的人都喜欢养狗，我也养狗了。
Okay. Oh, I've got a nice red dot there glowing on the screen. Anyhow, all right. Let's not get distracted. So the elderly gentleman there replies, "Yes, 是啊." And then he says, 我以前养过花儿，养过鸟儿，但是不喜欢养狗. So let's have a look at that first. So here's our new verb, 养. Here's our new word for flower, 花. It's not whole. Oh, there it is. 花. Here's 养 again and 鸟. So as we said before, 养, depending on what follows it, can mean to breed or to grow. So in the case of flowers, to grow flowers. In the case of birds, to breed or raise birds. And here is the new grammar particle that we've learned for this lesson, which indicates past experience. So 养过花, meaning to have grown flowers at some point in the past. It's not clear when. 养过鸟, so I have raised or bred birds. And another really important element in this sentence is this expression 以前. Can you remember what it means? Yeah, it means before. Okay. Now, the position in the sentence is really important. You'll notice that 以前 in this sentence comes before the verb 养. Now, that when 以前 comes at the beginning of a sentence like this, it means in the past, before. Okay, time indefinite. It's not referring to any specific time. It's just some time in the past. So the position of 以前 in a sentence is very important. It means the meaning is quite different depending on where it comes. So if it comes before the verb, it means in the past. If it comes after the verb, it means after whatever action that verb represents happens. Now we've got 我 before 以前 in this sentence, but that's okay because time expressions can come before or after the subject of the sentence. So here it means before I have grown flowers and I have raised birds. And then he says 但是, so here's our new but, 不喜欢养狗. He then goes on and he says 来这儿以后这儿的人都喜欢养狗，我也养狗了. So there's a couple of things in this sentence that we want to have a look at. Firstly, 来这儿, that's fairly straightforward. I think you guys should understand that, right? So coming here. But what's more important, what's really key for this lesson is here, 以后, which means after. Now look at the position of 以后. Here is our verb, right? And 以后 comes after the verb. All right, so it means after this has happened. 来这儿以后 after coming here. All right, so where 以后 or 以前 come after a verb, it means after that has happened or before that has happened. Where it comes at before the verb, it means in the past, or 以后 when it comes before the verb means in the future. Okay, 这儿的人. So we're talking about people here, some kind of people. We're talking about specifically the people that are from here, 这儿的人. So this 这儿的, let me just change colors. This is the attributive that we talked about last semester, and it's modifying 人. So it's not just any 人, it's 这儿的人, the people from here. 都喜欢养狗. That's pretty straightforward. 我也养狗了. So we have our le, our change here. This is our le indicating change. It's at the end of the sentence, but more importantly, it's at the end of this clause. Okay, and it suggests a change. And I think from the sentence, the change is fairly obvious. Prior to coming here, he didn't like raising dogs at home. Since he's been here, he now likes it. So that is very clearly indicative of change. Right, so let's hear what Zhang Xian, the young guy, says next.
听说在中国城市里不能养狗，是吗？
He says, 听说在中国城市里不能养狗，是吗? So here's our new expression, 听说, which we said from the vocab list means I have heard, or it has been said, I have been heard. 在中国城市里，在中国城市里. Okay. Now I think I did miss the word 城市 when I was talking about the vocab, but I can explain it now anyhow. 城市 is the word for city. Okay, and as I may have mentioned before, or when I mentioned in the lecture as well. For example, if you want to talk about the city of Shanghai, then it would be 上海市. Shanghai 市. You don't need the 城, it's just 上海市. Beijing, 北京市, the city of Beijing, and so on. Right, so 在中国, actually you need to make sure that 在 is connected together. 在中国城市里. So that is our place expression, guys. So that's very important because that determines where it comes in the sentence. And it's going to come before the verb. Okay, here's our verb. So a place expression like that, where something happens or doesn't happen, it must come before the verb. And then 不能养狗, 不能养狗. So that 不能 cannot 养狗 raise dogs. So I've heard that in Chinese cities, or in cities in China, you can't raise or breed dogs. 是吗? That's just a straightforward, asking, is that right? Now let's have a look at what the older gentleman says.
以前不行，现在可以了。有的人喜欢养狗，有的人喜欢养猫，有的人喜欢养鸟，还有的人喜欢养鱼。你也喜欢养小动物？
Cool. Okay, let's have a look at it. So the older gentleman then says, 以前不行，现在可以了. So there's two elements in there which are very important because they relate to the grammar that we're learning and also to the grammar that we learned before. 以前不行. So there we go. We've got 以前 at the start of the sentence. All right, and it's before, in this case. Well, 行 is a kind of a verb. It's an optative verb. So 以前 in the past 不行, and that means 不可以. 不可以. 现在可以了. So in the past, no, you couldn't do it, but now you can. So the change is fairly obvious. 有的人喜欢养狗，有的人喜欢养猫，有的人 喜欢养鸟儿。And then this is next bit. 还有的人喜欢养鱼。So I think the other ones are fairly clear. 有的人喜欢养猫 etc. That's fairly clear. 还有的人喜欢养鱼。Here, 还 means there are also some people who like to breed fish. So again, this is a kind of a linking word. We've got this is not a list. So when you're going 有的人喜欢养猫，有的人, but it's a sequence of separate clauses, separate ideas, all part of the same sentence. And then this is sort of indicating that we're going to finish off with the last clause or last idea. Excuse me. So also there are some people who like to breed fish. Then he asks, 你也喜欢养小动物? I think you should be okay with that. All right, I'll leave you with that. Now, let's go over and hear what Jiangshan has to say.
我喜欢小动物，但是不养小动物。
Right, so I'll move on to my next slide. Just make sure it's clear for you. So he says, 我喜欢小动物，但是不养小动物. I'm pretty sure you can work that out for yourself, but yeah. So he likes them, but he doesn't like to raise them. The old gentleman then asks,
为什么？是不是太麻烦？
为什么？是不是太麻烦? So here's our new expression, 麻烦. Okay, and here it's kind of like an adjective. So we're saying, oh, the old guy is saying, is it too much trouble? 是不是太麻烦? And then Jiangshan comes back with a snappy line. Let's have a listen.
不是，因为我没有时间，也没有钱，我只能养我自己。
Okay, so no, 不是，因为没有时间，也没有钱。Let's have a look at that first. So 因为, I mean, we learned previously because, so that shouldn't be a problem. 我没有时间, I have no time. So again, it's talking about quantity of time, duration of time, has no time. 也没有钱 and no money. And notice here that linking the two things is the word 也, not 和. Okay, so I have no time, also no money. So Chinese will never use 和 in this situation. It's always 也. And then the last little bit, and this is his kind of punchline, 我只能养我自己. I can only look after myself. I only have the ability to look after myself. Right, I shall stop this here and I'll do a separate video for the final of the second dialogue. 谢谢.